Yo, man. Good morning, Nashville. Good morning, Nashville. We're really excited, man, to be a part of you guys Monday morning. This is your favorite podcast, the Black Man Vent 2 podcast, Nashville. Have you heard a Black Man Vent today? We have a very interesting story and an interesting guest on our show today, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited because we bring flavor to y'all's Monday. At some point, y'all gonna wake up on a Monday and realize that, man. But Black Man Vent 2 definitely brings flavor and just different guests onto the show that give you a different perspective of what they go through in their lives as a Black man. So let's get into it. We got a great guest today, guys. Again, we're in the exclusive season of Black Man Vent 2. You may see some big names, some small names, but this is an exclusive season for what we deem to be 5-star Black men. And we have one on today, Mr. Charles Key. He is a muralist, artist, and community activist. Let's hear about him on today. With a natural talent in drawing, a love for community, and a degree in engineering, Charles Key has brought all three into one to provoke thought, raise awareness, and beautify communities across the United States. His work can be seen in various cities and states such as Los Angeles, California, Nashville, Tennessee, North Carolina, West Virginia, New York, and he is coming to a city near you. Man, I'm excited, man. To our YouTube audience, man, what's up? What's up? You know what I'm saying? What's up? To our YouTube audience, man, our audio audience, we're glad that you guys stick with us and stick it out with us. Again, YouTube, man, make sure y'all get at us on Spotify, get at us on Facebook, Instagram, Amazon Music. I'm losing fingers, but make sure that y'all follow us on all our platforms, man, and check us out. Presenting to some, introducing to others, my good friend, good brother, Mr. Charles Key. How you doing this morning, man?
Man, blessing. I'm just blessed to be here with you guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Looking good.
Man, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You know, I woke up this morning, so I'm winning.
You know, you winning, man.
Yes, sir. That's it, man. We, again, man, are glad to have you, brother. We know that your schedule is jam-packed, man, but for you to just take some time to come vent with us, man, on a Monday morning, we really do appreciate that, man.
Beautiful, Abe. I'm glad that I have this platform and able to do it. We need more things like this.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, let's get into it, Nashville. Again, have you heard a Black Man Vent today? YouTube, have you heard a Black Man Vent today? Mr. Key, man, let's hear about your story, man. It's somebody out in Nashville that drove by your painting today when they went and got their biscuits and they coffee, and we just want to know, man, that who is Charles Key? Where did art come from? Where did the passion come from? What is the background and the testimony behind who, again, Charles Key is?
Okay, well, Charles Key is a large-scale muralist, large-scale acrylic artist, and basically all-around creator. I come from a city in California, Los Angeles, during a very rough time during the 80s, 90s, you know, crack cocaine kind of hit, and kind of gang, most definitely. My brothers are gang members.
Okay.
So I kind of had that in my own household at one point. Just artist was a relief, and it was a therapy. Unfortunately, I couldn't go out. I was the baby of the family, so I couldn't go out and run the streets.
Right.
So I had a lot of time to myself. So I had to learn how to entertain myself. A lot of the graffiti and stuff was just out in LA. If you ever, still to today, taggers, the neighborhood would throw up their set on the side of the building. So graffiti was just a part of my life and what I seen when I walked outside. Plus, I am hip hop, and graffiti is a written form of hip hop. So, that's kind of where kind of got started from.
I know definitely, man. I don't know much about Los Angeles, but I am a die-hard Lakers fan.
All right.
I argue it tooth and nail sometimes. So you have to imagine when Kobe in that situation, man. I took off work 3 days, but that ain't what the podcast is about, man. But nonetheless, man, just being in Los Angeles, you know, during that time, you know, just take me back to those teenage years, man. Walk me through those high school hallways, man, and just what's going on through the mind of Charles Key between them ages, you know, that adolescent years, kind of getting into you being a grown man and stuff.
Well, I would say kind of a lot of the black men came back from the Vietnam War. They kind of came back a little messed up in the head. And then a lot of the communities was trying to form organizations to help out the kids.
Right.
And then money came in, which came into drugs and guns.
Yeah, man.
Then you had the LAPD, which was the biggest gang
there
was.
Yeah, man.
So there was a lot of aspects that you really had to be scared of, because the police will pick you up and take you to the wrong hood. And they don't have to kill you. They know.
Yeah, they drop y'all.
They know that other side, and it's gonna be a hard walk making it back if you make it back.
Right.
So they had a lot of tactics, and so you just had to kind of pave your way. Either you was a part of something, which was the neighborhood, which you had to walk past these guys every day because you stayed at Granny house, or because Daddy was gone, or you know, it was just that diaphragm and dialect of things where you got to learn how to talk. Your response to my question might not make it back home, depending on how you answer me. So if I come up to you and ask you where you from or something, depending on your answer, you just might not make it home to your family. And if you really think about that, you kind of got to really be up on point.
Most definitely.
In all type of situations.
Man. Well, Mr. Key, man, when I hear about people that are from, communities like that, man, and then you say you had some brothers that were a part of gang and probably deep off in it. How did you escape that, man? How did you not get involved with
that? My mother kept me in church. I can't say that. My mother kept me in church.
Folks don't like to hear stuff like that, but go ahead and tell that story,
mother,
man.
I was one of those. Probably there's a lot of little boys that didn't want to get up, but mama made you get up. And we went to church. My grandmother, she was, she taught children's school for 30 years at church. So church was just a part of that everyday living. So I had that to really fall back on when I got older. And that kind of kept my brothers, because I couldn't be a part of it. They were, I beat you up, and I was more scared of my brothers than really, anybody else. So my brothers like, we already kind of messed up our lives. You are going to be something for mama. Mama, my brothers are older than me. All of them are at least 12, 13 years older than me. So I was a baby when I came in. I was already teenagers. And so it was just basically, you're not gonna do it, and you're gonna kind of stay on the right path. Even though I did my own. I would say church.
I like that answer, man, because anybody know me, I'm all about the church, man. But I didn't start out in the church. But I'm thank God that I found the church. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, man, it's just strange, man, to see a brother, man, that's into the arts. I'm talking about not the arts, but just art itself. So what kind of help you stay in that lane? Because I know you had all other stuff pulling at you. So what helped you stay in that art lane?
It was just something like I just found myself doodling and just when I had my free time. And I started working as a chef. I just had creative things, so my plates would come out looking some way. I'd take pictures and what I'm saying, stuff like that. So but even when I got on my little lunch break, I find myself drawing on a napkin or something. And so it kind of hit me one day. My father was getting older; he was losing his sight, and he was just like, "Son, if you want to do something, go ahead and do it. Do not wait till you get my age. Do not try to wait for retirement, because your body can." Shut down, even though your brain is done, and you had these aspirations and things that you want to do. Do it while you can. And so I kind of sat there and I really thought about what do I like to get up for it. It's really funny how you can wake up in the morning, make yourself get out of bed, force yourself to go to some place that you really don't like, and then they tell you to be grateful that you here, and you the one making them money.
Come on now.
So it's like, and so I kind of really, it was a real struggle because you need a job. You got a family. If you got a woman, your woman, especially a black woman, she don't want some money.
You got to come on with that bread, man.
You got to break it in. So, just imagine the stress. So you going somewhere and you just, and some days you just didn't feel like waking up. And that's not good. So I had to kind of figure out what I wanted to do to kind of make me wake up. And I was finding myself just waking up, doing art in the mornings and stuff. So I said, Lord, if this that jump, and we sat and talked to each other, and he said, "Go ahead, jump off," and I got you. And it's been that way since.
To a test, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. To attest, man, to what you're saying. How many black men, listening to this podcast are going through that same thought?
Yeah, man.
Up in the morning, knowing that you got to get up, man, but just not having that fulfilling purpose. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Key, I think you attested to that well, just talking about, you had to find the inner you into making, your life what it needs to be, man. And I Pops, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to ask you, because you touched on your pops. As you can see, man, me and my dad, we're real close, man. We always have been. And I wanted to ask you, how was the dynamic of the relationship with dad growing up, and how was the dynamic now that you are Charles Key, the artist? And
me and my father has a good relationship. I'm his namesake, so I'm junior.
Gotcha.
So we got that.
I'm a junior, man. I know that feeling.
Yeah, so
I know
Pops
that feeling.
was real proud. Pops was proud of me. Like I said, my dad was an artist.
Okay.
That was my major influence. Growing up, there was really nobody else. It was Pops. He was a creator. He made instruments out of cigar boxes and this kind of other level kind of thing. Middle class family working, 7 boys. I'm part of 7 boys. So you can imagine not too much free time to kind of go out in the backyard and kind of just do that. So when Pops had John Coltrane on or something like that, we know he was in his artistic mode. We basically left him alone. He might have stood back in the corner and we just watched. So I was more of a just watching Pops and how he did his thing, and kind of being like any boy, you would manipulate and kind of try to do what your father do.
Man, that's
cool.
So
that was
that's cool, man. I was just saying, when you said your father, man, it's a lot of brothers, man, that grew up in homes without fathers. So we've been fortunate, man. All of us sit at this table. We've been fortunate, man, to have fathers in our homes, man. But there are a lot of guys that don't have fathers in their home, man. Have you ever met a brother that didn't have a father in his home and felt the need to be that mentor for a younger guy to bring him along in the artistic, realm that you're in right now? Do you know any young brothers that's coming up right now that's trying to follow in your footsteps?
I teach the kids and I do stuff for the youth. So in a way, I haven't found that one apprentice yet. But if somebody's out there, somebody listening, most definitely, look me up, get at me, and I most definitely, I was self-taught, so I wish I had somebody that could, kind of just show me the little tricks and trades without, failing I did. But I learned that, you got to fail.
Yes.
So anybody that has this dream out there, because it was real hard for me to come to my family and tell them I'm quitting my job as a chef. And I'm gonna go paint on these buildings.
And
we still got rent next weekend. You know what I'm saying? And spray paint is an expensive habit. It's not like a pencil and a sheet of paper.
And I mean, food sound better than paint on the wall.
And then I didn't have the client. It was just a whole lot. But like I said, once I really made that decision, and you're gonna go through some things. The devil took me all through the crossroads. I met the devil at the crossroads.
Come on, man.
And because for me, I like money. I come from a family of hustlers, so I'm used to seeing money, and family of academics. So we got doctors and lawyers, but I'm just used to being around that certain capital. And so not a drug user or anything like that. So Satan could only really affect me. Not by women, it was mainly about my pockets. So by when I stopped working and really jumped out on this entrepreneurship and went to show the world my art, I went all the way down there. I was down to $20 left. And the devil was like, hey, just go back to what you know.
Yeah, man.
You already quit your job, right? So it ain't no use of going back there. Just really go back to what you know, and
keep
how to
keep cooking up.
You know how to hit the street. You know how to hit the block. You got some friends that'll throw you some or something. And I went to sleep that night and I prayed, and I told my my girlfriend at that time that I might just have to go back on the block. Was gonna call my friend that night. Went to sleep, prayed, woke up the next morning, and a hookah bar called me, and that paid my rent for the next 6 months.
Come
right
on,
there.
man.
And I told the Lord that I never. You don't have to worry about me touching, looking at nothing. I'm out the streets. I hung up my jersey. You know what I'm saying? I know this is my path. But without me going through that, without me going through that, I would have probably still been dibbling and dabbling. But now I know my purpose, and I know what the Lord planted in me, and I'm a sprout. My seed is gone.
I love that too, man. You know what I really love? I love the fact that his testimony is based on the power of prayer.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't believe that, man. But he's talking to a God that he can't see, but the God you can't see is still fulfilling purposes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I love it. I
just think it's interesting, man, that you had the discipline. I mean, you talk about black men, we get stereotyped all the time for you know being you know hypersexual, if you will, or just doing different things, drug use, man. As far as our statistics in the penitentiary is concerned, we got so many different stereotypes, right? But you defied the stereotype to tell yourself, man, when you got the opportunity at the hookah bar, that I'm here to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't here for the hookah, blow no smoke, no watermelon, kiwi. Like, we ain't here to blow no smoke.
No, where the wall at, man? Where the wall at?
Man, I'm where the money resides. I love it, man. Again, Nashville, have you heard of Black Man Vent today, man? We got an exclusive episode with Charles Key, man. We again just thank him for being on our show today. The next question I have for you, man, is when you think about the dynamics of social media and how, you know, especially over the last 10 years, man, I remember when MySpace was a thing, and now you ask a child today, man, they don't even know, have a clue of what that might be. Talk about how social media has enhanced what you do, how it's brought you to different platforms or introduced you just to kind of different rooms, if you will, man. How has social media pretty much put your vision out even forward?
Well, for artists, especially growing up, there were very few to none-successful Black artists making money living that you knew about. There was one or two, but most of the time you either had to be dead or you had to be white to really have some money. Really hate to say it. That's what it was.
That's facts, man. That's facts, man.
And thanks to social media, you are able to kind of interact. The world can kind of, unless you was in that neighborhood or something, you didn't really know about the artists, you know, that did the local work in that neighborhood. Right. So this is platform everybody can see it. It's kind of worldwide. And a lot of, for me, it was just people being able to kind of see it and come by and want to look at it. And I was a late bloomer to kind of social media. Yeah, I was more focused on the creative part instead of the behind the scenes that, you know, because this takes a lot of time.
It does,
a lot of editing, and a lot of times if I'm creating, I'm not thinking about taking a picture.
Exactly.
So a lot of times I will finish my painting and I forgot to take a picture because I'm on a whole nother wavelength.
I'm with you. I'm with you. It's interesting you say that, man, because you know, as entrepreneurs, you know, with social media, man, me and my dad talk about it all the time for the podcast. Marketing is important.
Oh man, it's
you
big,
know
man.
how much of what you put out on your social media platforms, man, you gain that exposure, you're gaining that followership that you may not be able to reach out on the street. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's important, man, you know, just even in your industry and in anybody's industry that's doing you know, Black business, don't be afraid to get out there. You know, like how much of belief do you have in your own craft and what you're doing, man? You know, just you got to put yourself out there, man, to be seen. And you know, just praise be to God for him to give us this vision as our podcast, man. Because it's like, you know, we know everybody ain't finna listen to 50 minutes of Negroes talking. Like,
We would like for you to, though.
You know what I'm saying? We got the YouTube. You want to watch us on TV, but like, on a serious note, like nobody's really gonna have the attention span to really sit down and do that, man. But it's just a blessing to again bring guys on like you, man, to share this type of story. I wanted to ask you, man, just in Nashville, I've been here all my life, man, and I know I've went past some of your murals at some point. Give us some locations, man. Where can we find a few of them?
Well, most of my murals are located in South Nashville.
Okay.
By the JC, UC.
I know I've seen.
Oh, most definitely.
I've seen one
in that area.
Didn't know who it was.
Yeah, that's I have maybe 15 murals in that kind of 1 mile little area. But I have murals everywhere. I have a mural on West End.
Man.
Right across from Vanderbilt. I have a mural.
Come on, man. Across from Vanderbilt, on what building?
It's used to be right next to. It's right before you hit the park. It used to be the dairy.
Right before you get to Centennial.
Yeah, right before you coming down, right before you get there. It used to be next to a rose place where they used to sell roses.
I know the place that sell the roses over there.
So that was a blessing.
It's like a a Rose place, then it's like a restaurant, and then it's a place where they sell games and stuff like that, little game and stuff. So you right off in there somewhere.
Right.
Wow.
I'm going right.
But it's right off of it's right off of West End.
That's cool.
But yeah, I got murals, but most of them is like I said in South Nashville. I got that George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Jacquees Clemens, Daniel Hambrook. I got a Kobe Bryant out South Nashville, second in Lafayette.
Come on,
How about the Black Panther, which is a tourist attraction now.
Yeah.
That's right there on Lafayette and Fame.
That's real cool, man.
Yeah, that was kind of my coloring area.
Autograph them?
Yeah, I put my names up.
Oh, okay.
Of course, my brand Jamerson GC will be on there.
Yeah.
And I got the name really from my middle name from my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
So we talking about dads and stuff. I was able to have a second dad in a certain way. My uncle was like my second father.
Okay.
And so Jamerson GC is really a homage to my uncle. And you know. So I'm just talking about, like you were saying, sometimes it might not have to be your father,
man,
but it could be somebody else.
Yeah, man.
And when my father wasn't there, but he was always in the life. But you know, if you needed some extra advice, my uncle was that person that you knew because he was a God-fearing man. He loved his wife and he did everything he wanted to do for his family. And uncle had a little money, so uncle, you know, that was uncle that had a lot. So you need something. Here you go, youngster. He'll peel off 20 for you.
You listen to that, man.
He got some wisdom, but it's like, how did you do this? Because you're not in the streets, uncle.
Right. How'd you reach this status, man?
Right. So that's where the name came from, and every day, you know, I just paying homage to my ancestors, you know, my dad and me. So Jamerson GC, you will see that's the brand. I don't paint people with guns or dope or any of that. These are positive images, history, basically. I want you to really be invoked and try to just have a narrative of who is that person. And most of these pictures are for the kids, just to spark that, because a lot of times my pictures are in your face, so you got to see them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just going to have to see them.
I just wonder how many people that have gone by those murals, man, that understand that it's a brother. That I know they see him, and I know they see black people, but do they really just understand? You know
to meet him now, and to know that I done for sure drove past it, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd.
Oh man, yes.
Their faces. I know that Kobe Bryant one I got to find though. I ain't found that one yet. So anybody on YouTube, you know what this is, let me know. I ain't found that one yet, man. But I just think it's so dope. Like you said, you're giving these kids, man, a different vision of the city. We ain't got to see graffiti in its gang, you know, intent. We don't have to see, you know, different things, man, that people put on abandoned buildings, man. You see the craziest stuff, man, in these alleyways and stuff like that. But man, for a child to be able to, you know, go on the side of a building, man, and see art, that's kind of dope, man. And for it to come from a black man. You know what I'm
and what I really like, man, I say this, I probably said on 2 or 3 podcasts. I'm gonna say it again though. There is another option besides a ball and a mic, man. And you just showing us that, man. And we appreciate that, man, because they're not, I'm gonna have to admit, man, I've heard of a lot of people that do art. I've never really officially met a real true bona fide artist. Man. So it's just it's a trip for me to meet you, man, and just understand what you do and why you do it, man, and the creativity that goes behind it. But tell me this, man, and we'll hit this right quick. Just give me one side of the negative stuff that goes on with what you do. Like what's a negative side to this, man? Because I know for us being black, man, there are some negatives.
Well, first of all, just me having that spray can in my hand, in general, it sends a negative connotation to higher authority.
What he getting ready to do?
It looks totally different when you have a brush and a pill and I got a ladder that you can kind of say, oh, he's a painter. But when I got the spray can in my hand, that automatically takes you to a vandal, automatically put you in this criminal. So that was a nice play for me. And I love the medium of graffiti to show you that, look, yes, this is, you would consider this crime, you would consider this vandalism, you would consider this ugly, you would not even consider this art. But watch what I do.
Watch what happened.
Let me finesse this, and you see, you would tell me that this ain't art after I get done using this type of medium that you feel or you see that is as a threat. So it's like your eyes wide shut. It's like your eyes are open wide. You seeing it, but they shut because you don't want to
close this.
You don't want to see that part that this can be art, because this has been told to you all the time that this is
you got
anytime you say graffiti, that's an automatic negative.
Automatically. So I want to use that especially that medium to kind of show there was some positive light in this area. And then I almost forgot the question.
No, you just did it. Because I asked you about the negative, and you said it first thing happened when you put the can in your hand. It's automatically a negative.
So the police, you got to worry about the police, and then the negative part, you got to worry about the neighborhood. So a lot of times you got to do the politics, and that area might not want what you putting up, and that's just simple and plain. So especially in LA. Sometimes you got to check in certain neighborhoods, and that's just the politics of the neighborhood. You won't even have to worry about the police. It's still like that. So I can't just throw up something on this side of a building in this neighborhood, because the neighborhood might not embrace it. So a lot of times you got to politic, or you don't want to spend your money. It's like a lot of that artwork out south, I funded myself. The Lord just now blessing me and opening the heavens financially. But for 3 years, I did a lot of that artwork for free.
Pro bono.
Free. I didn't know no other way to get my name out. I just knew I had to have my name on some walls. But I would say the police and just the neighborhood, those would be like the major kind of downfalls of it. Because you don't want to spend your time and your money put up something, then somebody come back tomorrow and you didn't get a chance to take a picture of it, or the neighborhood didn't even get a chance to enjoy it. So those two things, that's why I just kind of keep kind of straight and narrow and educational and positive in my drawing. So it's kind of really hard to deface it. But like the Breonna Taylor and stuff, oh man, you could probably go on channel 17 News now, and there was so many people saying that they were going to deface that picture. You could probably read the comments. I'm talking about thousands of people. Read the comments. There was it get a little deep. So at that time I was like, hey, because maybe I'm being too activists.
And see, you know what? We'll get off into that on the next round. But for sure, man, when you're doing something like that and then they hit you with that negativity, it almost make you doubt what you're doing, man. But I'm glad you did. I'm glad you went on and went forward, because that's what holds a lot of us as black men back, is that we're worried about what they gonna say, or worried about who gonna come after me. Anytime we're activists against something that's major in the culture, guess what? We just got to go for it. Like you said earlier, got to go for it, man. Because if we don't, then we're not helping the ones that's coming behind us. Because if somebody coming behind us, man, it's gonna need us to step forward. If so many historians hadn't stepped forward for us, then we wouldn't even be here today with this platform, man. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do it too, in this day and age. So I'm glad you did that, man. Appreciate that.
Commendable brother, man, that we got on today's show, Nashville, the Body Mass. Excuse me, it's an exclusive episode. We ain't even doing Body Mass Index. Exclusive episode, exclusive season, all month of September, man. Again, Charles Key. Have you heard of Black Men Vent today? After this commercial break, we'll get right back into the content for today.
My name is Charles Key, and you're watching Black Men Vent 2.
Just like that, Nashville, man. Just like that, we're back. Good morning to you guys again. If you're just not joining us, YouTube. What's up, y'all? How y'all living?
Monday morning, YouTube.
How y'all living?
Yeah.
Again, man, excited to be a part of you guys Monday morning. Again, we are in the exclusive season of Black Men Vent 2. We bringing 5-star brothers all month in the month of September.
And that's not to say
platform.
that our other guests hadn't been
not 5-star brothers either. Right,
we just happen
to
be in some different seasons. But we just doing some different stuff this time. But y'all was some 5-star brothers too, so don't get it twisted.
Right. Disclaimer, I don't need my email blowing up. You know what I'm saying? So disclaimer, man. But let's get back into it, man. Have you heard of Black Men Vent today? Charles Key is with us, man. And again, we are excited to have him. Off the air, guys, we talked with Mr. Key, man. We kind of asked him a little bit about finding the difference and the kind of the balance between passion and profit. And bringing it back, man, to the episode today, Mr. Key, how did you find your own balance in that? Having the passion for the art and having the passion, man, for that industry, but then still realizing, man, that I gotta eat, I need some clothes, bills got to be paid, that type of thing, man. How did you bridge that gap and bring it all together?
Oh man, that's a good question. Good question this morning. We're back. Good morning to you guys again. If you're just not joining us, YouTube. What's up, y'all? How y'all living?
Yeah.
Monday morning, YouTube. Well, I had a good support team. I had somebody that supported me. That was a major thing. I wouldn't have been able to do it without this person supporting me. That was it. My dream wasn't really focused on money. So it's kind of like a bird wake up in the morning. It wakes up, it starts singing to the Lord, and then it goes on its day. And, you know, the Lord gonna feed you.
Take care of the birds.
Yeah,
man.
so it's kind of like that. I wasn't really focused on my money part. I was focusing on this end goal. So when little things came up, and I went from eating, you know, shrimp and lobster to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, back to the ramen noodles action. You know what I'm saying? But these are things that I gotta cut back off of. So, you know, a lot of things I cut back off. I might not be able to buy no Jordans this month or the next 6 months because I have this goal. And if nothing is, if it's not benefiting that goal, then I really wasn't trying to do it at that time. I was super hyper focused on this, and I just knew that it was gonna pan out eventually. That's the old saying, the Lord didn't bring me this far to just leave me here type thing. And so I knew I was doing the right thing, and I knew eventually it was gonna come. And that was just part of the test to see how long you was gonna actually keep going. And that's where a lot of us fail at. We be right there. Right there. And like I said, my crossroads earlier, if I had made that call, I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys right now.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like that. It's just that point. You're gonna have to go through it.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm listening to, and I hear this. I tell my son all the time, when you talk about the great sports players, they always put in the sacrifice when ain't nobody looking. They putting up 300, 400 shots. Kobe, Michael Jordan, LeBron. Football players in the off season, they building that body up, man. Baseball players, man, they somewhere inside a warehouse hitting balls or whatever. And then when it's time for them to shine, they shine, man. So everything that you become good at, it takes a sacrifice, man. And I think that's important for all young brothers to understand. And anybody out there's watching this podcast, man, if you're gonna be great at anything, you have to sacrifice something. You got to sacrifice something, man. So I'm listening at your sacrifice, but there's also another component of what you've been talking about, and I keep hearing you say it. So tell me this: how important was your faith in sticking to your guns as an artist?
It was a major part of it. Like I said, major part of it. You gotta have faith. You gotta have faith, and you gotta just. I was seeing things, and I was seeing myself being somewhere, and I didn't want to kind of look back over the years and you'd be like, oh man, I wish I would have done that. And a lot of us kind of do that. And we had that opportunity. And my thing was, I didn't want to die. And then my gifts are around me looking at me like, why you didn't use me? I was in you all this time. And you didn't use me. And so I kind of, I don't know, and this gonna affect a lot of people. I'm a black man that's responsible and accountable for myself. And we can really just talk about
cut and dry.
Cut and dry. I didn't have no other choice. And I chose that. I got to be responsible.
You chose
and
life.
If I didn't do it, then I'm accountable for what's going on. And so once I made that decision that I'm gonna be responsible and accountable for this, then there's no other way. A lot of times there's no other way. You really do it. You get past that scare point and you jump. You know, off the diving board because you can't go back. You know, all the kids still on the diving board laughing at you, and you looking like you want to go back. You can't go back. So you jumping. Next thing you know, you like, this is the best thing I ever did. Now you hopping, you climbing right back on there right after you. But you had to get over that initial fear.
That's true.
And sometimes being pushed in that corner make you kind of just.
That's true.
It make you. So I don't have that. I have a plan B. In my head, there's no plan B. I have to make this work.
Man, I see, and something I'm gonna say your faith, because it's just like our cameraman, my man Josh, and even like us and yourself. When you start telling people about your dream, and people think you crazy, you just got to keep going, man. I'm gonna tell any brother out there, you got to keep going with your dream, man, because there's some people listen to your dream, you're like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't believe you. But then when you reach that pinnacle, then
Yeah.
here they come, knocking on the door, calling on the phone. Hey man, what up? Ain't that enough?
Be careful who you tell. I would advise you to tell yourself.
Boom.
Have them conversations with yourself. Repeat that in your head over and over that you're going to do this, because we all have these loops going on in our heads. And we all, especially as an artist, I spend a lot of time by myself. So I talk to myself a lot of times. So you got to be watch out for them negative thoughts that you got programmed in your head that's been going on from your society as a youngster. Maybe somebody little, maybe your granny didn't put your picture up on the refrigerator and you thought was good. And so now you don't want to be an artist because you didn't get that, you know what I'm saying? So it's just that change that loop that's going on in your head. And that'd be the first step.
That loop, man, is common mental health issues that are involved in the everyday black man.
Yeah, man.
That's what that loop is.
And he talked about the negative. See, black men have been media-wise and any other-wise bombarded with negativity, man. You know what I'm saying? And when he just said change that loop, you know, my man on this other podcast, man, because you know we listen to other podcasts. That's how we try to get better at what we do. So you got a podcast out there, brother. I probably done listened to you before, trying to get better at what we do. But I was listening to this one brother podcast, and I don't want to call it out right now. But one of the things he was talking about in the podcast, man, you saw it over Granny's house one day. He was talking about change the soundtrack. That's what he was just. That's what he was just talking about. Because you got a soundtrack looping in your head at all time, like a little, you know, like a cassette player, and it's constantly going, man. But all the stuff that's been recorded on, sometimes you got to go back and erase that thing, man, and start up with some positivity, man. Because you just said change the loop. He's talking about change the soundtrack, but basically change your thought process, man. You got to change your thought process because if I got a dream, but I only see myself doing small things, then guess what? I might reach the dream of doing the small thing. So why can't I reach the dream of doing the big thing?
Hey,
I got to change the soundtrack, man.
Or better this, why not test the Lord for big things?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
He said he'll do what he, you know.
Come on.
All you got to do is ask, right?
Man,
knocking and
asking and
so why not really test your boy? Because you are a product of him. He is the manufacturer, right?
Yeah.
And so if something wrong with you, can always call to the manufacturer, get it fixed, they'll send you a new one, right?
Come on.
Hey, man.
That's what part of
making it plain
right now. Because look, what you talking about right now, man, I teach a Sunday school class, and one other thing I try to teach them young people is this, man. If you, now this is all about your belief, though. If you truly believe the God of the Bible, and you believe he's the creator of all heaven and earth and all things, he's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, I always tell them, you have a goal and you have a future that you want to try to achieve. Why won't you check with the creator before you take off? Because he know it all. He created you. He created this world. So he knows where you're going to be successful at. Start checking in with him. And I can tell, Brother Key, you check in with him on a regular.
Man, got to, especially when you get to a certain level, because especially when you start manifesting things, that's when you really got to be careful on what you say and things like that. That's how I feel like a lot of these rappers and people like that get to a certain point where they got this money now. It's a very, you know, things are coming out their mouth. And it's kind of like, be careful, because the Lord done blessed you with this $1 million homes and stuff, and you still talking about, you know, what you talking about. You're still kind of doing the devil's work through the music, and it's influencing people. And,
hey, man, we just had a brother on here last week, Bree. And he was talking about how his music changed to being a more like a positive thing. And how he had to start kind of dropping some folks, you know what I'm saying? Or dropping some situations, man, because his music was going to a place where he see in his mind. They don't see it, but he see it. And that's where he trying to go, man. And he getting ready to have a show too, ain't it? So the brother doing it big, but it's because that's where it's at right here. And he going for it, man. So I'm with you. I feel what you're saying.
I'm gonna be honest, man. You know, we're in the world, man, so we know what's going on. This generation, man, that's coming up. It's so much, man, that they're missing. And, you know, you don't know whether to blame, you know, what it is, or blame, you know, the environment that they only know. And the point I'm trying to get at is, we in a scary situation in the world right now, man. I mean, if you just look around and just kind of see how the dynamic of these kids, man, it's kids punching teachers, dog. It's kids, man, just vandalizing areas, man. Like I
cussing out police,
cussing out folks, man.
YouTube like, cussing police.
It's different, man. And I just wanted to ask you, Mr. Key, man, what and this is just a societal question. This doesn't even have anything to do, man, with the art, man. But what gives you hope for our Black people? What hope do we have moving forward, man? Seeing how culturally, man, it just don't seem like we getting anywhere. We're not unified, and we preached that on this podcast for the last 50 something episodes, just
Unity,
to talk about how
people.
Black folks just need to be more unified on our aspects, man. Do we have any hope?
Yeah, we got hope for the youth. We got to have hope for the youth.
For sure.
You guys wouldn't be sitting there doing what you're doing right now.
So true.
If it wasn't
so true
to try to reach back and have hope for the truth.
Yeah,
so I just think that's embedded in us, especially women and, men. Especially if you're giving back to the community, or if you're doing things genuinely from your heart, you can see things in them babies, and you hope for the future, and you hope that Earth will still be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In a certain sense, because these kids gonna have to go through a lot more, we plagues and all this storms and floods, and so it's gonna be a little different than us growing. Even seasons, I used to remember where it was winter, and then you can kind of tell when winter turns into so now everything is really blended.
It's running together, man.
You really don't know.
It's true.
I used to be able to wait to, especially in Nashville, I could wear any colors I wanted. So I used to. I can wait to get my Timbs on. You know what I'm saying? But in the summertime, I'm in Chuck Taylors and Dickie outfits.
That's
you
it.
know what I mean?
Man.
So, but there's hoping there's people like us, and there's gonna be something that's gonna happen, and it's gonna hopefully it's nothing negative, kind of like the George Floyd thing, where something happened and we all got together at the end. But somebody's going. It's gonna probably be a youth. There's gonna be a person from the youth is gonna really stand up and be like, "Hey, this is not, normally are we gonna kind of go against the norms? We're gonna break these stereotypes.
Break these stereotypes.
Are we gonna break these generational curses that we have? And that was a major thing for me. I wasn't gonna be a drug dealer or a gang banger. I was gonna break that curse for me and my family.
Right.
And I was gonna kind of show them that there was another route.
I love it,
man. When I think about art, I don't even know too many names, but I think about what's the name, Da Vinci and all them people, man. So one of these days when your name get big like that, man, we're gonna look back at this podcast and be like, man, we had that brother on.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's where we going. We going there.
Doing it big, man. Yeah, man. So with that being said, man, again, if a brother has a dream out there, man, there are some negative pitfalls in the dream, man. But even with the negativity, how about being careful about the high moments? So have you had some real high moments that you still have to be careful about those, because sometimes you can get so high that you forget where you came from. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to humble yourself. I stay humble. That's why a lot of my artwork you probably would not have seen me do. I used to do it at nighttime. You wake up in the morning and boom, something was here.
Wow.
Well, I didn't want the attention. First of all, most of it was illegal anyway. I wasn't getting paid for it. They was on abandoned buildings. I'm just gonna be honest. You feel me? So I did not want no exposure at all to a lot of things. And but the highs is basically like you're gonna have highs and lows. I just remember when I'm high, I remember that time, because this is a hustle, this entrepreneurship. There's gonna be seasons where I'm not gonna have any money. So just because I got this check right now, don't mean I can just go just do anything, because there will be a time where it's too cold and I can't go outside. And I will have to reach back for this fund that I'm getting now in the summer. So I keep myself on that nice even plane, and I treat myself every now and then, of course. But other than that, I kind of boom. So I know I have a nest egg just in case there is a season that I don't get paid.
You touched on my next question, because I was going to ask you how does that work? Like you just said, you basically said that when it's cold outside, don't nobody want to be, in 10-degree weather, man. Even though I know it's a passion for you. So there are certain seasons and brackets that you do kind of get into your craft.
But when I first started, it was 365 days. I was out
it didn't
there
matter.
In the snow. Especially this Tennessee heat. I was out there in that with a big old lawn hat on and stuff. But I just really had that desire. So I said to somebody, hey, it's honey or something. You got some water. Just just kind of push through it. You know what I'm saying? As far as that. But seasons, like right now, I'm changing over to where like I'm not going to do anything in the summer and the winters. As far as murals, I'm gonna be doing more paintings, more canvases, more fine art. Yeah. So that'll be spring and fall is the time where the weather is cool. That's gonna be for me and my business. That's gonna be our time where our peak mural season is. That's what's up. Plus I teach school, so there's a little time. My time period is very, time sensitive.
Man, talk about the school, man. If you don't mind. I didn't throw that in the bio.
I teach middle school and high school art.
Okay, man, that's cool, man.
Yeah. It was a blessing to, like I said, giving back to the youth.
Yeah, man.
And for them to see a black male, black teacher in there.
Yeah, man.
A male teacher.
Yeah, a male
that's
teacher
good.
That's
good.
I think it's a positive look. And, just following the footsteps of my dad. My dad was an educator.
Okay.
So, a lot of these things, when you get older, you're gonna be doing some design things.
Yeah.
It's kind of those things.
Yeah, he catching the vibe now, man. Yeah.
I told him I never drink coffee, man. And I gotta have a couple creams and sugar before I get my day started. Shoes, I'm already following the footsteps, man. Nashville again, man. Charles Key, man. He's with us on this exclusive episode of Black Man Vent 2. I know we got probably a little bit more time left. I wanted to ask you, man, just about the black history that is involved in art. Like I don't you know your Maya Angelou's, your Jackie Robinsons in baseball, your this, that, and the third, man. But what are some black historical art figures, that the everyday black man may not know about?
As far as
artists, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh man, off the top, I know them, but off the top of my head, I can't think of a lot of their names right now. The guy that did the mural for Obama.
Okay.
He's like one of the ones that's up and coming right now. And I can't really think of off top of the head up some black artists, but you can, Google.
Has it been something you've looked up to? Just I know you said, man,
I've looked up. I've looked up and I know them, but just right now, off the top of the head, I really cannot think of their names. But Jean Basquiat. So he's, that's kind of, he was a graffiti artist in the 80s in New York, and he was homeless, and he ended up meeting Andy Warhol, ended up making millions of dollars. Ended up dying broke. He got hooked on heroin. He was one of those, went from homeless to making money, and they started partying, and he got hooked on heroin, and he felt like his art wasn't good without the drugs. So that was codependent from the drugs. So when the drugs wasn't there, the art did not,
he couldn't create.
And so he kind of overdosed, and he died penniless. But his last painting sold for the most ever for any artwork.
Come on, man.
But unfortunately, he wasn't able to see it.
Man, ain't that something?
Man, our condolences, man. I wanted to, before we wrap up, man, again, I just want to thank you, man, for being on this show, man.
A great episode,
to our YouTube audience, man. Again, make sure you tap in with Charles Key on our platforms, but tap in with him, man, on the 17th of September, man. I got my tickets. We got our tickets.
Yeah.
You didn't know we got our tickets.
Okay.
Eyes Wide Shut event, man. The Eyes Wide Shut event. Hosted again, or just made wholly by Charles Key, the art exhibit and silent auction, man. Can you talk to us, man, about that event that you're in and what we have to look forward to, man?
Oh wow, this is gonna be an epic event right here.
Boy, I can tell you proud of that, man, because you stood up there.
Back kind of waiting on this.
Like you stood up, man.
Basically, there's gonna be a lot of art that I had in my house that I never showed the world. Like I said, by me being a muralist, that was my gift to that community, gift to the neighborhood. But a lot of this work that you're going to see was just things that I was doing in the house. And I felt like instead of limiting myself, why not give this to the world also? I was very selfish with this work. A lot of work I wasn't going to sell. I done had prices. People done threw some big numbers, and it was like, no. But then as anybody, you don't want to be your best collector. So as an artist, I don't want to be my best collector.
True.
So I had to kind of break that and say some of these are gonna have to go,
Mhm,
but they
mhm.
my babies, and I still have that. I just work 36 hours on this puzzle. It's kind of hard for you to break it.
To just break
and
it
just
down,
yeah.
So it's kind of
I feel it. I feel it.
yeah. So but Eyes Wide Shut
yeah, man.
is basically I'm just showing the world, like I said, not just a graffiti artist,
Mhm.
but an all around artist.
Mhm.
So the world see me as just this muralist or graffiti artist, but I'm gonna show you that I'm more than that. I am a painter.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it.
I'm a painter.
it,
Large
man.
acrylics,
I love
watercolors, markers. You're gonna have fabric.
Yeah,
We got some nice visionary things going on. I'm gonna hit all your senses.
Okay.
So I'm really about visual. And you're gonna have some senses. Your cup, more than one senses, is going to be tantalized while you're sitting there looking at this artwork.
Hey, man, he got me like I want to go
I'm like,
tomorrow.
man, I'm telling you, man. Let me pull out my doodle book now.
Yeah.
Eyes wide shut. Yes.
Yeah,
I
man.
love it, man. Eyes Wide Shut, man. Saturday, September the 17th from 6 to 10. Make sure y'all tune in, man, and make sure y'all also look at this episode because we will have the link for the tickets on Eventbrite. So make sure y'all tap into that, man. But Pops, man, it's been a great episode.
Yeah, it's been a good episode, man. And I just thank this brother for coming on, man, because it's like he's like a historical figure right now for me. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I've never met an artist just boom boom like this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now that I've met him, man, now when I start thinking, I'm like, yeah, I know the man. Dude that did the mural over there with Breonna Taylor and
George Floyd.
I know that dude, man.
So
it's kind of cool that we got a chance to have this interchanging conversation together, man. And I just wish your business and your creativity, I hope it continues to flow, man. So before we leave, man, give us some encouraging words, man, for maybe there's an aspiring artist out there that want to do the same thing you doing, man, or somebody that's not in this field, but might be in some other field that has a passion, man. Just give them some encouraging words before we leave, man.
All right. On this Monday morning, let me give you some encouraging words. I'm gonna keep it simple. Basically, if you can believe it, then you can achieve it. Write your goals down. Read your goals. Put them in your pocket. Visualize yourself already at the finishing spot.
Yes, sir.
That way, when things come, you don't have to worry about them because you already know where you're going. As though saying, if you don't know where you're going, how you gonna get there? Man. You got to have a certain direction. You know, it can't just be a boat just floating in water. You gotta go either way. So there's no gray area. You know, God said he don't want to be lukewarm, hot or cold.
Right.
You feel me? So don't be in that middle area. So I'm running towards one direction and do it full speed. And there's gonna be some changes and there's gonna be some downfalls. But remember, all of that is to build your character. A lot of people just want to hop in the middle of success, but you didn't know the nights that I didn't go to sleep. I still haven't been to sleep yet. So you don't know, talking about sacrificing. I sacrifice sleep. I sacrifice missing my family sometimes because I'm on the road. So it's you gonna sacrifice some things, but I know at the end of it, it's gonna all be worth it. And without these sacrifices, I would not have the same value for my company as I do.
Praise God, man.
Man, I love it.
That sounds like a wonder, man.
Love it.
Yeah,
I love it,
man.
man.
My brother.
I love it,
Thank
man.
you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you,
man.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Jamerson's GC, JAMERSONSGC on all platforms. It's a blessing to be here, you guys, this morning.
Yes, sir.
Made my day. I'm gonna be able to go through my day, a little better now. Yes, sir.
I love it, man. I do.
too,
I
man.
just
I
that's
appreciate it, man.
it's great, man. Again, to know that not every black person is dribbling a basketball or is rapping, but like you said, man, we have somebody that can is in the art industry and can cook. We ain't even talk about none of that.
We ain't talking about the grub.
We didn't even get off into that part, man. You know what I'm saying?
And doing the art, man.
Right.
Hey, you spoil some
last
woman,
question.
Man.
You married, right? Woman, man. Make sure you married, family, all that. You good? Because folks might hear this. We got some ladies.
Hey, if you got some ladies, unfortunately, no, I'm engaged and I will be married. So,
unfortunately,
I am off of the market. I had to do that dramatic pause for a minute, but unfortunately, I am off the market.
Love to see it, man.
Love to see it, man. That's another good thing. That's going to even prepare you even higher, man, because you'll be representing what Jesus Christ left on record. He represents the bride. He's the bridegroom, and the church is the bride. So you getting ready to take your bride, man. I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you, man. That's a good thing to see another black man. See, that's a whole nother podcast. But to see another black man get married.
Reach back, man, to a couple of seasons. We had a marriage and relationship season on Black Man Vent 2.
Check that out.
So check that out. Make sure y'all do that, man. It's been great, man. Exclusive episode again with an exclusive brother, man. Charles Key, Nashville. Have you heard a Black Man Vent today? It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. You can do what you can, and you can't with what you can't.
Until next week, it's a wrap. Black man, don't get trapped.